Lily, what's the picture with you? High winds?
Yes, good afternoon, Tom. I can't quite hear you. It is incredibly windy down here on Barry Island. Since I last spoke to you and spoke to Patrick and Anaya onto the point about an hour ago, about 6,000 homes here in Wales were without power, but in the last hour that's doubled. It's around 12,000 homes now are completely without power here in Wales. Of course, that red weather warning is right across the south coast of Wales, with winds, expected up to 90 miles per hour, as we've been reporting throughout the day. Now, of course, it is that danger to life with flying debris. Just behind me, there's a bandstand where sheets of metal have just come off and flown in the other direction. We're keeping safe and keeping out of the way of it, but plenty of precautions in place here in Wales. No train services running at all, school closures, and people are being told to stay home and stay safe if possible.
Well, Lily, I have to say it does seem pretty precarious where you are. High winds, you spoke about flying metal. Have you seen any other flying debris this morning?
Not that I've seen. When I drove down to Barry from Cardiff earlier on this morning, the roads were desolate pretty much. We've just got a little bit of a break in the wind there. There wasn't hardly any cars out on the road. I think I saw 3 people walking down the road in about the 10-mile journey between Cardiff and Barry. And not too much. I think a lot of people had prepared for the incoming storm. There weren't too many bins kind of out on the road. We did pass a petrol station about a mile away. Woo! A petrol station about a mile away where part of the roof had actually come off, and there were fire services seeing to that. So I haven't seen too much devastation where I've been, kind of in Barry and Cardiff and the surrounding areas, but I'm sure a lot of people have been putting those extra safety measures in place to kind of protect their homes and businesses.
Well, Lily, I will let you try and recover from some of that wind. That's obviously a very tricky place there. Let's swing over to the other side of the country now with Amelia Harper in the east of England. What's it like where you are, Amelia?
Well, Tom, you've just caught me with a bit of debris flying in my eye, and I think that's really the take-home message from environment agencies and the Met Office today. That's a real concern, is flying debris. If I look around, I walked past my own house earlier, and a roof tile had fallen off very close to hitting cars there. And interestingly, we are in the centre of St Albans here, and what I think is happening is this is very much this funneling effect through town centres and cities. And I think that's what we're seeing across the country. But, this storm first started in that southwest area. It's now moving eastwards. As you can see, it's very busy and blustery. I'm being blown about. Near the coast, we're seeing 100-mile-an-hour gusts, just under that, maybe around 90. And inland here where I am, it's more like 80. But actually, Tom, a major incident has just been declared across Suffolk in response to the storm. They are very concerned, actually, about people attending coastal areas in particular, because Suffolk coastline has one of the fastest rates of erosion across the whole of Europe. There's also a warning across Norfolk not to go near the coastline. I'll be heading down to the coast in Essex just a bit later on to see what's happening there, Tom.
If anything like the winds that we saw with Lily are heading your way, please do stay safe. And thank you for bringing us that latest developing news on this storm. Thank you to everyone there. The views from across the country